Afternoon, everybody. This is Josh with K4CO Radio. I hope you're having a wonderful hump day out there. Sitting here with our Vice President, Sarah. How's it going, Sarah?
Hi, it's good. We were just talking about the beautiful fall trees and how they're changing and dropping and making us all sneeze over here.
That's right.
It still looks really pretty and getting closer to the weekend, so that's always exciting.
You know it. An absolutely beautiful late 60s in the weather today. So
I know it.
Loving it.
We're now entering into I call it the yo-yo season, where it's 30 degrees in the morning, 70 degrees around noon, and then it's back to 30 degrees at night. So my closet is in my car.
That's heaven.
Sure.
That's heaven right there.
Sure. Lots of layers.
That's right. Well, we have a very special guest in the K4CO Radio studio today. Singer, songwriter, playwright, director, CEO of Open Door Entertainment LLC, host of Acoustic Soul Slam at Modern Brew Kitchen and Bar in Centennial, Mr. Robroy, Mountjoy. How's it going, man?
It's going great.
Yeah?
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, of course,
and
man.
Sarah, thanks for having me.
Oh, of course.
Definitely.
Appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, our pleasure. For those that are listening on the app, thank you for tuning in, listening to K4CO. We are on social media platforms as well. We're going to have Robroy perform live. It's really cool to watch on social media, so you can experience the full studio like it's in your backyard, or living room is probably more appropriate. So definitely jump on social media if you can, if you're not driving.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and he has quite the amazing story and journey.
He does.
That's just the icebreaker of what Josh said. So definitely let us know if you have questions or comments in the social media section.
Yeah, you can just type it in the comments if you do have a question or anything like that. Our producer, Jacob, will alert me to that and go ahead and ask that for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all, you just got over here, Colorado, so tell us a little bit about your journey, man.
Okay, born and raised in South Kansas. Then around in my early 20s, I moved to Lawrence, Kansas, and started doing the music scene there, and then moved to New York City. I was there for 12 years, got into playwriting and directing and producing, and then moved to Los Angeles, there for 10 years, and now we came out here to buy a house and keep doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. As far as the creative field and everything. I did a Google research and found out, this is kind of like Austin was 20 years ago or something like that. It's like there's really a cool scene going on here, and I always was interested in Boulder and the Fort Collins and all that stuff, and Denver, that whole area. Mm-hmm. I remember when I lived in Lawrence, people would talk about Boulder.
Yep.
How cool it was and stuff. And the whole area is just really appealing to us. So when show business and my agent I had out there, the business started slowing down with the strikes and everything. And so the auditions became less and less. Things were happening. So the writing was kind of on the wall. But I was still able to do quite a bit of stuff, but then the kids were getting ready to go to high school and junior high, middle school, so we wanted to get, in another area where we could probably buy a house that wasn't so small compared to $2 million for a house the size of this place. And we wanted to get a bigger house, so we came out here. Just so far, we just love it. We almost went to Ann Arbor, but I've discovered that the winters there are really bad.
They're not bad here, I'll tell you.
That's what I heard. It's so funny. We were dead set on Ann Arbor. I was right. I wrote a song about it. Everything was, family was all ready to go to Ann Arbor. So I started doing deeper research because I'm like, this is a big deal. Yep. This is a major move, So I discovered that the winters were so bad. So every morning with Alexa and getting the kids ready for school, because we were, like I said, we were already looking at places there and everything. I'd slowly start slipping. Alexa, what's the temperature in Ann Arbor? And it would say like 2 degrees or something. And slowly but surely, I got my wife and kids to start understanding that maybe we should pursue another place. And that's when Denver popped up, because mostly the music, I punched in music scene to Google, and found that there's a lot of Americana type of vibe, a lot of stuff really cool. Mm-hmm. And a lot of opportunity, and plus a lot of things out in LA you can do all over the world now. you know?
Right.
And a lot of things were filming outside of town, and I was leaning more towards getting back into the music. And I play all over the place out there, but I thought it was time to relocate, you know, and keep plugging away.
Right.
And a little, like I said, to be honest with you, the strike was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the studios and stuff. When I first moved there, everywhere we'd go, we were in Studio City. You'd see trucks, cameras. You'd always have papers on your door saying we're filming on this street. It was huge everywhere.
Right.
And then slowly but surely, you know, a lot of with the tax breaks and stuff, these people started going out of town, and the strikes happened. All of a sudden, it was like a ghost town.
Right.
And my agent, he went into politics, and the agency kind of slowed down. I was like, what the hell, man? So, like, all along, I'd been writing. I never stopped writing music, you know, so I started refocusing back to that, you know, and also writing a play. I wrote a new play, actually, that I'm going to be producing here in Denver.
Oh, cool.
And, so yeah, to answer your question the long way, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, because it's not just like LA and Hollywood. You also have done like off-Broadway playwrights.
Forgot about that day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, you've done a whole bunch. That's
where,
yeah.
thank you, yeah. I've managed to stay busy enough to keep my self happy and on a positive trip, you know.
Yeah.
But New York was cool, man. When I first moved up there, just like they say, you know, all the people up there thought I was from, because my accent was really bad. I was from around South Kansas or in Wichita, and I had folks from my mom's side that were from Arkansas and stuff like that. So my dad's side were Kansas City, and mom's side, so I kind of had a bad accent. When I went to New York, everybody thought I was from Alabama or some shit. But the first thing happened when I got to New York, my wife was going to Columbia, right? So that was great, right? So, but we're not rich, so we both had to work while she's going to school, and I was doing my stuff out there. So one of the first things I did is I needed to find a job right away, you know? So I remember walking down the street on Broadway, and over on Broadway in Amsterdam, up by Columbia, the Upper West Side, and, you know, I'm not like good with my hands at fixing things, nothing like that, but I'm good. I'm good at communications, talking to people and getting things, that type of thing. So I walked into this bar, like I said, you know, I saw a help wanted sign. I was like, you guys hiring, you know? So I ended up landing a gig there, and they also had a room in the back where they did stand-up comedy and also live music. So I you know, sold myself to them. I said, give me your worst night you have, slowest night. Let me see what I can do and get things going here. And that's a pattern I've followed my whole life when I'm in a new area, how to get things going instead of waiting around.
Right.
But I was doing the music out there, and this music show started to go really well. But it took a while, but it became one of their busiest nights of the week. The bartenders would want to switch from Friday to Tuesdays. So I was really proud of that. And that led me to a guy that did music soundtrack work. He would come to the show sometimes. He'd live right next door. You know, come over there and have a few beers, you know, whatever, or a lot. And he recommended, he said, you know, you're really theatrical on stage. You know, you should try acting. And I never acted before in my life. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, acting's not a thing where I'm from. But
not a lot of acting in Kansas.
Unless you're Dorothy. You know?
yeah,
true.
I mean, I fell in love with it, you know. But anyway, what happened was the reason, you know, he sent me down to talk to people about a film called American Gangster, and it had Denzel Washington and Ridley Scott was the director, and Russell Crowe. There's a based on, I can't remember what it's based on, Harlem drug dealer, I think that, yeah. Anyway, long story short, I went down there and I got a little extra part, and it paid really good, and I was like, what the fuck? You know, I was like, oh, sorry.
You're good. You can
Okay.
say whatever you
No,
want.
yeah, exactly. We're not FCCs.
So I got a part doing that, and it wasn't a speaking part, but I got to stand right next to Denzel and watch Ridley Scott direct, and I got dressed up like a Vietnam soldier, and I was like, this is cool, you know. And then I started to pursue that, you know, because I found that a lot of times on set, because you're especially then they were still using film. It's 2004 4, I think, or 5, something like that. And so I found myself down there on set, bored, and so I start writing, you know, and then I ended up writing a play while I was waiting. Sometimes you wait 5-6 hours back just to go and stand somewhere for a while,
Right.
even if you're just doing the background or a small part or whatever. So you have a lot of time. So I wrote a play, and that play was called Duck Walls, and it was about it ended up getting a grant from LaGuardia Performing Arts Center, and then that's how things kind of started. Because I've always been a writer, you know, expressing what I'm going through, what's going on around me, that type of thing, you know. So that started that journey, and I kind of just kept going in that journey because I really like people. I like networking. I like talking to people. I like working with other artists. I like getting there and collaborating and getting things going. You know, I just love it.
Right.
I love it. You know, and it really turned my life to another path. But all along, I was still songwriting and performing. But I started doing the theater more because the opportunity was just working. You know. And all along, like I said, I kept playing music and writing and honing my craft and learning the instrument, and you know, and so then that led me to L.A. and I ended up getting Steve Gutenberg as an actor back in the day.
Oh, Police Academy. I love it.
He does
Nice.
a lot of stuff. And
He's done a lot more, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I love him.
Yeah, and back for me, it was really cool because I got him into a short film that I did, you know, and the film was about kids in a group home in the 80s, and it was about insurance fraud and the stuff going on, and the kids and their stories, and the doctor and corruption and insurance and problem child and children and stuff like that. So that's what got the Performing Arts Center grant. So I did that at LaGuardia Performing Arts Center, and from there just kept working, kept plugging away. I put on like 5 or 6 other plays up on 44th Street off of Broadway. I always say this, I could throw a rock and hit the Phantom of the Opera. My claim to fame. But it was a really cool place called the Producers Club, and they had 99-seat theater down there. And I started doing plays and rehearsing plays, first at my house, and then going from there to renting place spaces and stuff. And it was never a problem getting an audience because I would split ticket money with the actors, and they'd all bring 10 people, and I'd write plays for 10 people just to think the producer part of it. You know, I got to sell this place out.
Right.
And so I wrote the plays. Some of the plays I got as I became better at that, which takes a while. And it's not something you just wake up and one day, hey, we'll play right.
Right.
But I started to hone in on that more and really write for the people, and I'd get to know the actors really well. We became, you know, from meeting a theater company. I ran a theater company basically, and before that I did a booking company with music. All along, these are vehicles for me to get what I want to have, and that's just staying busy and working and being creative because it helps me.
Right.
Yeah. No,
You know, with life.
Yeah, no,
That's my wife.
You've done. I know you've done so much. It's wonderful. Well, speaking of music, I know you have a couple that you want to perform.
Yeah.
So, and I even love the titles. So you guys have to keep watching because the last one is absolutely amazing. I love they're all great, but the last title is pretty funny. So the first one you're going to perform is called The Algorithm. Is that correct? Is that what you're going to start with?
I can do that first. Yep.
Whatever one you want.
Yeah, whichever one you want to
Yeah.
perform
Which
first.
one do you want to start with?
Well, one is more personal about
Okay.
me and my wife, and the other ones are more along the lines of stuff going on in the world. So I figured I'd start with something.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. This is your time. Which
Yeah.
one will you start with?
It's called Barking at the Moon, and me and my wife wrote this, and she sometimes sings with me, and
Nice.
not in a while, but she used to a lot. But she's really creative and cool, and so this song's called "Barking at the Moon." It's kind of
Awesome.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, whenever you're ready, this is Robroy Mountjoy with his song Barking at the Moon.
okay. Providence Hospital. Yeah, they tore it down, yeah, the year I was born. And I grew up running with a whiskey tan, yeah, I did. And there was moonshine and mosquito bites. Waking up in the woods, you had a glowing eyes, yeah. Well, I grew up living in a caravan. Oh, but when the night falls, yeah, when the night falls, oh, we was barking at the moon, yeah. Barking at the moon. We was barking at the moon. And there was ankle bracelets and barbecues. Yeah, dark dingy bars from 11 to 2. Yeah, well, Kansas City blues tell me what the hell to do. Yeah, painted license plates on a rusty car, driving up the hills, well, of Arkansas. Yeah, well, Uncle Jimmy passed out on the porch, Daddy doing time in Leavenworth. Yeah, but when the night falls, we were barking at the moon, yeah. We was barking at the moon, barking at the moon, yeah. Sheriff and Marlowe shooting out the window of my 78 Calais. As I was hitching a ride, well, with my guitar, just to get next to her, yeah. Well, there was monsoons and desert winds. Well, she ran away, she ran back again. Yeah, there's gravity in that Kansas moon. Yeah, there is. Now take it down now. But when the night falls, when the night falls, we was barking at the moon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robroy Mountjoy right there with Barking at the Moon. I like your voice, man.
Yeah, that is
really
like
do.
the sultry. That's incredibly unique. That's probably one of the most unique songs I think I've ever heard.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah. Has anyone ever compared your style to anyone else, or is it? You're
I
just
hear
on
everything, dude. I've heard I've heard Ryan Bingham. I've heard Bob Dylan. I've heard Johnny Cash. I've heard anybody that I like that. What's his name? Oh God, I can't think. Anyway, yeah. People have said all kinds of things.
Yeah, it's like this. I can hear all of that. Yeah, it's like a Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, and like a splash of Elvis in there.
Oh, right. Thank you very much.
For sure. Except this like sultry, like go F everything.
I like that Ryan Bingham too. I can definitely hear that. And I was gonna ask
awesome.
you because your website, it says you play outlaw country blues rock, but then there's a part of the website that says you play outlaw folk. And I was gonna be like, what do you mean outlaw folk? And that kind of just answered it for me right there. So
it's hard coming up with people. When I first started, my producers and booking agents at clubs in Kansas City would ask me, how do we categorize you,
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. So back then they had a thing called that just started alternative country. They called it alt country.
Yep.
Then Americana, that type, that vibe, but blues. I've always kind of started out in blues clubs because I had a lot of pain and I needed to get it out,
Right.
And it's before I really even knew how to play. or sang. So it was really therapy for me, like it is for a lot of artists. You know?
Oh yeah, it's
For
cheaper
sure.
than therapy. Yeah.
And
Well,
it really, yeah. So I eventually just kept getting gigs. So I was like, whatever you want to call it, I'll call it. So I tried to figure out what to call it. Then there's this artist I played a show with in LA. It was at the Viper Room, and he was outlaw. His resume said outlaw folk, and I was, oh, that's pretty cool, man. You know. So I went ahead with that because I guess folk nowadays it used to be kind of a weird thing to say. When like in the 90s, you know, but now it's like it's so opened up because music is just opened up.
Well, we were talking about the 90s before. I mean, you and I dressed 90s. It's like I dressed jeans and t-shirt, and I'm stuck in the 90s, and I had fun in the 90s. But a lot of changes because I remember going into the record stores, and it was just like everything was under rock. You know, and then you had a blues section, a country section, but pretty much everything was under rock. Now there's like 130 different categories and genres where, you know, people are like, what do you play? Well, I don't know. It's kind of like garage, kind of garbage, funk with a little, it's like, all right.
You know what I think happened? You know how we started maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, saying when people ask you what you do, you have like 10 things. And it kind of happened with music because there's so many different things you can hear now with the internet. You know, the influences are so much.
Right.
All of a sudden it's like, oh, I play alt, country, rock, blues, jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like my kids, you know, like with Alexa, it's so amazing. My kids hear everything from Frank Sinatra to Colorado mountain sounds to Elvis or Hank Williams, all kinds of stuff. Like when we grew up, it was just whatever the radio was playing or you could afford to buy.
Exactly. So it was best, you know. I love growing up because I got the musical taste from my dad from all the 60s and the 70s, and then, you know, my stepfather loved like the John Denver to the Neil Diamond to everything, and then of course grew up in the 90s when grunge and, you know, so it was just a massive mix of everything. And then, you know, Frank Sinatra, of course, and, you know, the whole Rat Pack, and it was just, that's why growing up, I love it so much because I got exposed to so much, so many different styles. You know, I don't understand. Like some people are just like, "Nah, I just listen to this." I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't know, but throw on almost anything.
You still get that with a lot of teenagers, 13, 14, because they're
going
marketed
back
to really hard, huh?
They're going back, actually. A lot of teenagers are going back, listening to like the 70s, listening to the 60s, listening to the 90s, listening to, you know, I mean, you see high schoolers with Nirvana t-shirts.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
And I tested out one of them before. I'm just like, is that just because you like the smiley face or whatever? It's just like, no, man, I love Nirvana.
How can you not?
Like,
The energy is there no matter what you say about anything.
So I think it's really cool that they're kind of going back.
Yeah.
Vinyl's coming back. Yeah.
Thank God, because the digital thing is, like we talked about earlier, live is where it's at.
Yes.
You know, and digital, your music, it's really hurt financially. So many artists, even the big ones, a lot of bigger ones, you know, not the big, but vinyl, I like vinyl because, first of all, and I don't care what anybody says, it sounds better. It sounds like you're there.
It's a warmth to the sound.
But I tell you what, check it out. I catch myself occasionally wanting to turn the volume down, and you can't tell a record player. Alexa, turn it down. I caught myself a few times going, then I catch myself, what the freaking record player, what are you thinking? But it's so used to playing Alexa, you know, when I do put on a record, it's almost like going to a play. It's a rare, just once in a while I'll put on a record just to hear the scratching and the feeling of being there, and I just love it. You know, it is annoying because you have to worry about scratches and taking it out, all that stuff. But there's something about it that I love, and that's the feeling of like the artist is right there.
Right. Exactly, and all the artwork and everything. It was just amazing. And did you know, to this day, I've never told or asked Alexa to do anything.
Nor have I.
Shit. That's a damn lie, bro.
No,
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
No, I never
not
have
at
either.
All. I don't have an Alexa in my house.
I don't have a thing in my house.
Well,
yeah.
I told Siri some really off-color, horrible things, so Siri and I go back for a little while.
Well, and I heard that you have to treat AI nicely.
Okay.
You have to treat them nicely, otherwise they're not going to work well for you.
Well, then that won't work for me.
I believe in that. Anything that whatever they talk about, whatever they say about what it is or what it's going to be or feeling. I still, from the way I was raised, I just bring myself to always treat with respect, and I worry about people that are not cool about that and treat it like horrible, treating, that's what we got to worry about, I think.
But you should be able to treat it bad. It's a machine.
I just have fun with it.
Like people, you got to treat well, but machines, I mean, where are you supposed to get your outlet?
I know, that's true. I'm curious. You've done all of it. You've done the acting, you've done the playwrights, you've done theater. Obviously, you're a musician. Is there one, I don't want to say genre, but industry? I don't even know if that's the right question. But what are you drawn to the most?
Gravitates.
Yeah.
Music is my first, just just expression of what I'm. So that I meant self-expression through music is the main thing. Coming in second is directing and writing, theater, because I just love it. And then film I would do because you need to make money. But fully my number one thing, most important thing to me has always been performing my songs.
You said that came a little bit later.
Yeah.
When did that first kind of start taking off?
Well, I tried to be in a band when I was 17, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just thought it would be cool. So I got the band together and everything.
Yeah.
And I was in the garage, the microphone, but my ear wasn't developed yet. I didn't know when to come in. I was just like, oh, damn it, I figured it out, But that didn't work. So,
what was the name of the band?
I don't even remember. It was a cover band playing songs like from Kansas and cool songs, but I just didn't. I didn't grow up as around musicians or artists and stuff like that. But I knew I wanted to express myself. I wasn't doing it to get girls or whatever reason. A lot of people start doing music. I was doing it to make myself feel better, and it was really, it was working.
Right.
Even though I knew that, it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew it was easier than what I was dealing with in life. Problems, troubles, dealing with just the normal stuff that some people have to deal with, and it was making my life better, music and stuff. So, I kept doing it because I knew, okay, things are getting better. Because I'm having an outlet, something to focus on that's a positive thing and not, getting out there and just tearing myself up, nowhere to put all this creative energy. Because I didn't know I was an artist. I didn't know that I had that in because I didn't grow up with my father. My father's side of the family, guitar players, characters, and musicians, bar owner, painter, all that stuff. And I grew up with my stepdad, who's a John Deere mechanic. So as a blue collar, and I was terrible at fixing that whole world. My mom's side of the family was a union, floor layers, all that. Go, you got to join all that stuff. And I'm not good at it.
Right.
I'm not good with the hammer or saw. And so I was like, what am I doing? So I finally found my calling after a while. And that was in the early 20s. And how that happened is another funny story. My sister was doing a little independent movie in Kansas City with Chubby Checker and Jerry Mathers, and it was a little independent movie, and called High Stakes. Just you never haven't heard of it, but most of the stuff I've done you haven't heard of, but I still keep doing it. But they asked, my brother-in-law said, "Hey man, I know you like to sing and stuff," because I was always singing karaoke at my uncle's bar. Because that's how I kind of started performing.
That's how you started with the performance stuff.
And I was so shy back then that people thought it was a combination of two things. First of all, I wear glasses, right?
Yep.
So a lot of times back in my early 20s, there's a couple times I didn't have my glasses because they broke them, they lost or whatever. I couldn't get a new pair or whatever. So I started turning my head to the behind me, because back then they had the lyrics on a screen behind you. So I would sing not facing the audience because I couldn't see. But it also helped because, I wasn't, I was very shy, But then eventually, more and more I did it. I would go up to my uncle's bar when they were closed and sing. He'd let me sing on the karaoke just to, because I loved it, And then from there, like I said, I ended up doing a song for this movie. And I got my cousin together, because I wasn't a musician, so I got my cousin who was a good musician, and he helped me come up with the song. So, and then we got it in the movie, and then it was off and running, because back then, that world is so foreign to anybody in South Kansas City, Grandview, South Kansas City. It's a very, it's not a harbor of the arts. It's more of a blue collar vibe, which is cool. It's just I didn't fit in there. I had blue collar work ethic, but just not those skills for that type of work.
That's so interesting that both you and your sister, sounds like with your brother-in-law's kind of nudging and getting into the industry, that you both kind of gravitated towards that without having it really in the home life.
Yeah. Well, I think that I don't know why. It was good to have something good happen. Because
Well, it's interesting. Usually when we have people come in, they're like, "Oh, my mom, like we would go to church and we'd be introduced to singing." So that's kind of more rare. That I love that you both found an outlet that you both have a passion for.
yeah, man, I just fell in love with it because so I started. My first thing I did after about 3 months of playing the guitar, I was like, for me, at 3 months playing guitar, I was like ready to go, even though I wasn't, right? But in my mind, I knew I'm going for it. I'll learn how to do this as I go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went to this not record store, a guitar place where you buy guitar store, yeah. And there was
there was Guitar Center.
Yeah,
You know, it was
exactly,
like
dude.
Little mom and pop shops.
Exactly. And there was a newspaper clipping behind the place where you pay cash register, and it was of a band called Rex Hobart and the Misery Boys, who are a pretty big band in that area. And so a light bulb went off. I said, if I can get these guys to do a show down because I knew they'd played big places, so I called them up and I said, hey man, I got this, because I talked to a venue called the Grand Emporium. And they said, I gave them a tape. They're like, oh, this is cool, man. Can you draw? I'm like, no. I'm just starting. But you get someone down here. And so I went and talked to them. I called Rex up, and he said, yeah, sure, man. And I said, yeah, just let me play 2 or 3 songs, and open up for you guys. And boom, then it was rolling. Then I opened up for Alejandro Escovedo. I don't know if you heard of him, but he was on the cover of No Depression. He's a really good songwriter. And then I got a weekly show starting there. Everything kind of took off. More like as a host, booker, and also performer. Because I knew I had to do all these things because I wasn't able to play like I just did for you now. Because I was still learning and developing. But I knew there was something that I was telling me, you got to keep pursuing this because it's making your life better.
Right. And so you started Open Door Entertainment LLC. When did you start that? Does that encompass everything that you're doing? Has that been a long time, or is that kind of newer?
No. That started in New York.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Way back. LLC. Before that, I was just going under DBA, Robroy, Mountjoy.
Right.
But I needed to do something because the theater, and the money changing hands and the different thing like that, and tax purposes and all that stuff, So my wife helped me put this, to put the LLC thing together because, it's a pain. But so I started that in probably 2000. My dates are kind of 8, 9, something like that. And before that, like I said before that, it was just under my name. Then in Lawrence, Kansas, me and a friend of mine his name is Andy Smith, really good rock singer. But we ran a booking agency in Lawrence, and that's exactly how I met him. And that's another funny story if you want to hear that. I know I'm going all over the place.
That's good.
I like it.
I was sitting there at 24, something like that. Things weren't really working out too well, right? So I, you just imagine being this ball of energy and having all this energy, then not knowing where to put it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then you find something, and it's like, whoa, this is what I'm supposed to do. So that was happening. So there's a newspaper called The Pitch in Kansas City, as similar to the Village Voice in New York, and I don't know what they have here. They used to have newspapers, entertainment. I don't know if they still do here. But
Here it's probably like the Westward that's been around forever.
Yeah, that type of thing. So I saw an ad in the back of it. This is funny. Because I didn't know any better. So I called up this company, and he was a booking agency. And I said, yeah, man, I was wondering if I could come up and give you tape and see if I can start getting some stuff going on in Lawrence, He said, oh, yeah, come on up, man, So I headed up there, and the funny thing about it, he was leaving the office, right, down on Mass Street in Lawrence, Kansas. His office was Ground Zero Productions. And I found out, he was leaving, right? And I got there, and I was like, never seen him before. This is before internet. You can't, you don't know what somebody looks like. You just don't know, right?
God bless that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, hey, Andy. And it was Andy. And I found out that, so he helped me out. He ended up staying on his couch for a while. Then we became roommates and best friends. And he was the best man at my wedding. All this stuff. And he eventually moved to New York, acted in my play, all kinds of stuff. So it all started that day. I just went there and didn't know what he looked like. But I was like, hey, Andy. And I found out later, after we became friends, he said that was the last day we were closing the office that day.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, I'm glad I got there.
That's like a straight Romeo and Juliet moment of like, sorry, that's probably bad. But when you
friends.
I love that. No, I didn't mean that.
I know what you're saying.
But just like you were at the right place at the right time.
Well,
Sorry, that's
so it's so funny thinking back about those times, where you have to make, like I came in here today, when I came in to meet you.
Yeah.
The guy over at the Modern Brew said there's a radio station that really is kick ass, and they do local musicians and state of Colorado. So I just knew from how I am, I'm just going to go there. That's how I've always done everything. And then you get in there and you talk to them, and they're either going to say, get the hell out of here, or they're going to say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. No, I missed that part where you could just, it's like when you said before, it's, hey, you guys looking for help? It's just like back in the day, you could just walk in, hey, you guys hiring? Yeah, let's talk real quick. It's like, yeah, that's not today. But yeah, you walked in, we were really busy with something, but I talked to you for about 5 minutes, and then it was like, all right, yeah, we'll get together later. And it was really cool that you were working with Modern Brew, because we were at a Colorado live performance for Warrior Bonfire program. So they had all these wonderful Colorado artists playing for Purple Heart recipients. It was a great nonprofit Warrior Bonfire program, and they were telling us about Modern Brew then. And so it was just kind of kinsman. It was just like, Modern Brew, yeah, okay, now it's kind of clicking. So tell us a little bit about that, because you host Acoustic Soul Slam, Modern Brew Kitchen and Bar, and this is in Centennial.
yeah, it's called the Robroy Mountjoy Acoustic Soul Slam. And it's
Can you say that 6 times real fast?
Yeah.
Actually, my real name is Robert. And that is an actor. I went by Robin Mountjoy, but Robroy is a name that came up for a name of a show. I had a matinee in Grand Emporium. The owner really liked a cool name, so I kept it,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what was the original question? Modern Brew. Yeah, sorry.
No.
There's so much. You live a while, and all of a sudden you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't even remember all this stuff. But anyway, Modern Brew's cool. Same thing, man. I was taking my dog to the vet over there, and I saw a sign. It said Modern Brew. And I was like, is this a coffee house? What the hell is this, Because so I went up there, and all of a sudden I saw some posters on the window, music. Oh, let me go in here and see what's up. Because I had already been trying to talk to, like, Larimer and places, like, are known for music, like downtown, different things like that. Mm-hmm. And it takes a while, and they don't know who you are, And I was like getting frustrated, I'm like, man, come on, I know I can do. You're going to enjoy what I'm doing. Come on, let's have some fun. Let me get in there. But it was taking too long. I was getting anxious because that's just how I am, So I went into Modern Brew, and Pat was there. He was up on a ladder fixing something in the back. I just walked in there. They were closed, and I didn't know because their music was blaring, and I looked around in there. I'm like, hey, man, this place is blaring music, but there's nobody here. I was like, hello. And then I went to the back, and there was this dude on this ladder. He's the guy that does the booking, and he's the manager there, and a really cool guy. And I started talking to him, hitting it off, doing my thing, And now I'm at the point now where it's happening, and I'm just trying to get the the night numbers up and stuff, you know, because I'm new here. Nobody knows who I am, you know. I haven't had no national big radio hit or anything like that, you know, not, you know, whatever, but I'm still holding out for that. Like, I need to record these songs that you just heard. I need to, so just get known more. But I don't know a lot of people here, and so I went in there and I started the show, and I've been performing there for 4 weeks, and it's a really dead night because it's Monday Night Football, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, let me get in there and do what I do, and slowly but surely, you know, I'm playing for more and more people, but I really want to make it me and some other songwriters sort of like a Traveling Wilburys or the Highwaymen. I'm like 4 songwriters on stage trading songs, and I did this before, and it really went well. But that's sometimes something that happens, like, doesn't always happen. It's not an everyday thing where you can vibe with 4. This happened in New York. We were called the Four Horsemen. I'm not religious, but that's the name of it. And so I want to do that here.
Yeah.
You know, I just got to find the right guys. And in the meantime, you know, I want to keep the night. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I want to get more into that, a little bit more into modern brew, and then kind of because your big thing is getting some local artists in there and doing this. But I do want to hear another song from you. Which one did you want to play next? You got 2 more that we're gonna do here.
Okay, I'll play a song called. Let me see here. I'll go with The Algorithm.
The Algorithm. All right, tell us a little bit about this one before we play it.
Okay, well, the song is pretty self-explanatory, but it's just about, like a lot of the people in the country, frustrations with your phone, when you see stuff in the feed, you know, and you know, it's basically that, you know, so yeah, it's just about waking up and seeing bad news stuff happening all the time. Like, what the?
Yeah,
I like it. I think I say what the every single day, many times. So.
Every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little Robroy Mountjoy here with The Algorithm on K4CO.
Well, I'm up in the morning on my phone. It's another crazy story. I scroll up and I scroll down and I look all around. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, his early. Oh, you're back. Because back then they'd promote something for somebody that they did, but that doesn't mean that's all they did.
Right.
Back then it was just a marketing.
Yeah.
All right. We all good, Jacob? You can hear us. Sorry about that, everybody. A little technical difficulties.
The song was so good
I
that
know.
the world, it just said, you know what? Damn.
It's just crap, you know? That's the thing about technology, you know?
I know.
Absolutely love it.
Well, we get to hear it again.
We do get to hear it again.
So, yes.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you're on. All right. So, sorry about that, everybody. A little technical difficulties, but we are back on K4CO Radio with Robroy Mountjoy singing the song The Algorithm on K4CO.
Okay. Well, I'm up in the morning on my phone. It's another crazy story. I scroll up and I scroll down, well, I look all around. Oh, well, the truth and the lies, so much where to analyze. Well, it's leaving me tired of trying. Oh, but I'm trying. Yeah, well, I'm trying, but it's the damned algorithm. Oh, the algorithm. Leaving the country I live in out of rhythm. Yeah, well, the damned algorithm. Now I try to consider, well, the means that the information is delivered. Yeah, well, winter, spring, fall, or summer, well, a bummer or a lover, well, but it seems like it's never over. Oh, two different reasons, the same damn system that's always listening. Oh, the truth and the lies, so much to analyze. Well, it's leaving me tired of trying. Oh, but I'm trying. But it's the damned algorithm. Yeah, the algorithm. Leaving the country I live in out of rhythm. Yeah, yeah, the damned algorithm. Break it down. Now I don't wanna argue with the left or the right, or my mother or my brother, or a southerner. No, you'll just open up your phone, scroll up, scroll down, dig a little deeper before you believe it. And then if you don't like it, you can delete it, yeah. Well, the truth and the lies, so much to analyze. Well, it's leaving me tired of trying. Oh, but I'm trying. Well, I'm trying, but it's the damned algorithm. Leaving the country I live in out of rhythm. Damned algorithm. Can it get any weirder? Yeah. With the AI merch being sold at the AI March. Oh, well, Muskelon flip the switch, rename the glitch. Oh, the implant in the brain, expanding the bandwidth. Well, a jury that acquits, a bait and switch. Oh, the truth and the lies. So much to analyze, well, it's leaving me tired of trying. But I'm trying. But I'm only human.
The Algorithm, Robroy, Mountjoy. I love it.
That was hilarious. I
Absolutely
stand
love
by
it.
my first statement of how unique is that.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
cool.
And I got to say, Jacob, our producer, we had a comment on one of our social media. Throw that up there real quick that you alerted me on. By Ruth Ellen. It's the algorithm. It knows you're singing about it. That's why the technical difficulties happen.
Oh, I like that.
That's
You
great.
know what?
It's true.
I would put that out there. It was like, everything shut down
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. Zuckerberg got a call. He's just like, shut it down.
Pretty much. What's so interesting is you ended it as I'm only human.
Right.
That might have to change in a future song for you. Like, I'm no longer human.
Or cyborg, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only a cyborg.
Exactly. Yeah, you
No,
need
that
to
was
record
cool.
that one definitely. Well, you need to
that's
you need
funny.
to get recording, and if you need, we definitely have some connections for people out there who do great work.
Yeah, I need to.
So-
It's time.
Yes, that it is. All right, well, let's get back. I do want to talk about Modern Brew.
Yeah.
Especially because you know, a lot of it when you came in is about local artists, getting local artists together, which is basically one of our biggest missions here at K4CO. So, what kind of musicians are you looking for out there?
Well, they just have to have like what you're saying you're hearing from me. I'm trying to find that unique. I'm trying to find those other artists that might have that type of their own identity of like their own feeling. That I don't want them to sound. I want them to come to hear them and like, oh, that's him or that's her.
Right.
And that's
Some
not
of those
easy.
artists
that's
are-
not,
yeah.
It's not easy to find, or they're already too big, or they're just too busy,
Yep.
or they have a. Who knows?
There's certain artists where, and I love these artists where right away you're just like, yep, that's him. So like Van Morrison, no one has a voice like Van Morrison, right? When you hear him, just like, yep, that's Van Morrison.
Immediately.
You know, Bob Dylan, he was booed off stage in high school because of his voice. But yeah, those artists that are very unique, very original.
Yeah, it's hard to find. I've been struggling with, 'cause a lot of guys will just host an open mic, but I've never wanted to do that because it takes away from what I'm trying to do. I want to, because that's a way to get a lot of people out. Okay, that's an easy way to do that.
Right.
But I tend to like try to do it the harder way because in the end it's worth it. Because if you get those guys together, and then I can take it from there and develop it,
Yep.
and then put it at different places and stuff. I'm kind of finishing up what I started in New York with I actually had a show at CBGB's for 3 months before it closed. I don't know if you heard of that place.
No, I've heard of heebie-jeebies, but not CBGBs.
CBGB's.
Nice.
Sure you haven't heard this famous club in New York. The punk scene started, the Ramon, all those guys.
Nice.
Anyway, so I was trying to continue that, get back to that because, I'm a little older now, but I'm still having the passion to try to get out there and do it. But it's really difficult, like when you're new in an area and you don't know a lot of people. It's
Right.
hard. So once I get those guys together and we can do our thing up there, I think it's going to be great, and then we can take it to other venues and stuff like that. Because doing it by yourself is fine, but I'm not like, I love sharing the stage with other artists.
Right.
I like that.
Well, it's that collaboration.
It's
Yeah.
like theater, it's the same thing. Or back to sports when you're the team, that type of thing. I've always liked working with people, and especially being around other creatives.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, I'm not as there's other people like me.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of one guy. He needs to move from Colorado Springs to Denver.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I
Yeah.
friended him on Facebook.
Oh, you know who we're talking about?
yeah,
oh,
Scotty.
Scotty
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you're living
He'll actually
here.
be in the studio tomorrow at
night.
5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fixing to reach out to him. The Colorado Springs concerned me because of the distance. I don't.
Right. We
because-
keep edging him to move down.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, I mean,
so
I dig
we'll,
that.
we'll
Yeah.
put out our feelers for you. So you're playing. It's every Monday. Is that correct at Modern Brew?
Every Monday from 6 to 9. It's a free show, and they have great drinks there and food and a patio. It's awesome.
Nice, and that's
Cool, yeah.
here in Centennial, correct?
it is. It's
Okay.
actually off of County Line and Holly.
Okay.
And yeah, you can see some pictures on their website. And yeah, they have a very nice patio, fire pit. And yeah.
It's awesome. They have music. It's only been doing live music for not that long. I'm not sure exactly how long. It's months, but it's not years. Okay, so it's kind of its niche thing, but they play a lot of original music. They have artists that come in because that area is just filled with musicians from what the bartender tells me and the manager. So, but like I said, Monday night's football, and I could just like go in there, hey, let me open up for a band or something like that on a Thursday when there's people, whatever. But I want to build something, and if
Right.
it doesn't work on Mondays, because then we'll move it somewhere else, do something else, or keep trying to do it. And I don't see any way that it won't work. It's just in the beginning, it's a kind of a bummer because I'm pouring out everything I have, and sometimes a couple times it's just been me and the bartender,
Right.
But things I've done in the past at the Grand Emporium or CBGB's, it started out the same way. Then it always
Like anything, it builds up. It takes
passion
time.
breeds followers.
Yeah.
That's what I've found, and I didn't make that up. I heard it somewhere, but it's true. And it's just a little harder when I'm not 20 something and you're doing it again. Well, I'm starting over again. What am I? But it's just like, what else am I gonna do?
Right.
I
exactly.
agree. Follow what you love. That's what I keep telling people. And age is a number. Easier said than done. But if you follow your passion, then that's what life is all about. Do what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers will get there. As far as talking like a producer, I'm well aware of that. From somebody that's you got to get asses in the seats. And so it always works, but it's just in the beginning stages. It's just like when you're writing a script or you're working on a project or building a website, whatever it is. After you do it, you're like, no problem. Then later on, you start to do it again. The next thing, you're like, God damn, this is hard. You forgot how hard it is. You forget that part. You just remember yes, we did it. That type
Exactly.
of thing.
Exactly.
You forget, like, when you're happy just to get a gig. When you're a young person, just to get a gig playing your own shit. Because, that's not that common in the Midwest.
Right.
Yeah.
Small towns and stuff. They're like, they want to hear the covers. And I'm like, I can't play the covers. I don't know. Let me do mine. Now I know some on Bob Seger and stuff like that.
And what you're saying, it's kind of like out here with the Colorado 14ers. It's just like you get to the top and everything like that, and you're so on top of the world. And then later on, it's like you kind of forget the journey there or what it took to get there.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Oh,
Yeah.
I loved it in my 20s. I could run up, run down. I did one about a month ago. It sucked a lot. It was really, really hard. And my mind said, you can do this.
But
It's
that summit-
But I loved it.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, you're up there. Of course, it's something that you can do. And then when you do
Yeah.
it, it's very gratifying.
Yep.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah, people are
'cause,
digging
yeah.
what I'm doing. It's just like I said, it's Monday Night Football, so the audience it's slowly building up. And whereas I got some other artists I'm thinking are going to come in and help out and do their thing, and Scotty is somebody that he's just will he come up for that because he's so far away? I don't know how far is Colorado Springs.
Sure.
I don't
It's
know.
an hour.
It's a bit of a hike. but
Everything's an hour. It seems.
that's true. Depends where. But
Very true.
knowing him, I think we'll make it happen.
Yeah, because if
Just,
once I get the right guys, I will not.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
force of nature. I will not stop. I know it's important to me for mental health. Also,
Sure.
as being I'm a father first in my life. That's the most important thing to me.
Right.
And I know that I have to make sure, whether it's through music or whatever I'm doing, I need to stay on top of my, make sure I'm sharp and positive and keep, I come from my father's side of the family struggled with alcoholism and stuff like that, and I did when I was younger. I haven't drank in 20 years, but it really was a struggle. So I sort of use, like a lot of artists, will use their music and their art stuff to help them stay on drinking isn't even a popular thing as like it was back in the 90s.
No, in fact, it's going down in popularity.
Yeah.
It's been doing so for
Yeah,
years.
it's poison, you know, and like back then it was just like almost like cigarettes were promoted in the 50s and 60s and 70s.
Yep.
Alcohol was. I mean, they had the Bud Bowl everywhere you go. There's beer commercials, and it was just cool. We get fucked up, have a blast. I had a lot of good times. A lot of good times.
Yeah.
But when your buddies, the musicians I was hanging out, we would just party so hard. Do the shows, come back home. There's 30 of us sleeping on the basement floor in this house. It was awesome. There was a lot of cool times.
You wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, I met my
mean, yeah.
wife after a gig, and I was partying and stuff. And I met my wife at this club called the Replay Lounge in Lawrence, Kansas. I had, at the time, I was a lead singer in a metal band, like a grunge metal band, right? Mm-hmm. So I had purple glow paint all over my body because the drummer was like into weird stuff like that, Bowie and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, put it on, man. You know? So I did a show at the Jazz House, which is just, it wasn't a jazz, but it's just the name of the club. Mm-hmm. And I remember going in the Replay Lounge just to stop in for one more. Like I said, I had a lot of fun, and it was just starting to get in the way of what I want to do I'm a very driven person as far as producer. I want to get shit done. I want to do it. And so it started getting in the way of things a little bit, so I cut it out and never looked back.
I love it.
But I still like, there's other things that I enjoy,
Right.
you know, but I don't, nothing hard or nothing, you know.
Yeah, no, I love it. You're a dad first, and you're still enjoying life. That's
Dada.
Dada. I love it.
I got a 14-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 25-year-old.
Okay.
And they're all awesome boys, all boys.
Okay.
And me and my wife have Miles and Luke, and then a relationship I had when I was young, Marlon. So those are my boys. Those are my life.
Nice. Very nice.
I think you just wrote another song. Those are my boys. That is my life.
That's anything can just
It's like lightning. You
Yeah.
never know. You know.
exactly.
It
It's
is.
like people ask how you write. I'm like, well, it's just like they say. You have to be like a lightning rod. You have to capture it when it comes.
Yeah,
For sure.
When it comes, there's a lot of times you're just like laying in bed, about ready to sleep, and something that just like I gotta get out my guitar. You know, it's
You have to.
or you're gonna completely forget it, and you can't just write down lyrics or something like that because in the morning you'll be like, what the heck was I? You know,
I do that sometimes.
Exactly.
I'll the phone. You know, you can record
Yeah, you
it
can
on your phone.
record it, and exactly.
And
Your
I'm like,
ideas.
I'll listen to it the next day. I'm like,
Yeah.
the night before, I'm like, that's freaking incredible. Next day, I'm like, oh my god.
That was just horrible.
But sometimes there's something there because
Exactly.
I won't.
Never throw them away. Never
It's like
get
a
rid of them.
relationship. You never know if they're gonna stay around or not.
Yep.
It's really weird. I don't know how it works. So I play 3 chords and sing. That's all. Try to tell a story.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to get to this last one.
Yes.
This is an amazing title.
Right before we take out. Yep.
Yeah. Stars and Stripes, Tariffs and Lies.
I don't need to ask what this is about.
I think that one is very self-explanatory. But man,
yeah.
I stand by the uniqueness. You
Well-
have a very unique, amazing twist.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And these things are not. I mean, I don't take it lightly when people appreciate what I do. It means a lot to me. So you want me to do this song now?
Yes,
Okay.
that would be great. Yeah, Robroy, Mountjoy with Stars and Stripes, Tariffs and Lies.
Yeah. Get that man's face off the flag. It don't belong there. And that thin blue line, it ain't for those that begged a pardon from you know who. Hell, it even shot the warden. What the hell can you do? Hey! And I said, well, what do you got? I'll tell you what you got. You got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Ah! You got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. That's what you got, man. And I'll tell you what, hunger and violence violence won't stay silent. Yeah. Hey, you listen up, man. Well, that tiki torched skinhead with the tan pants and the covered face, showing the world the type of place that he'd love to embrace. Well, you got a lot of balls jumping out of that U-Haul in a mall race with your bare mace, tased face. Well, murder ought to been your case. Yeah, well, what do you got? Well, you got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Yeah, you got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. That's what you got. Well, to hear the voice gobble up the steps that kept a woman from being bled to death. Well, slam the gavels, he's unraveled. All that used to matter can't be shattered. Stupid hat, dirty rat, take the L in the chat. You ain't all that. Yeah, but what do you got? Well, you got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Damn! Well, give us your hungry, you're needy. Well, they're locked up, no due process. Unless you can pay a trump card, well, hell to stay. Well, they're flown away. And it's not okay, no. Yesterday or today, no matter what they say. Well, now, how about an execution for the executioners? Yeah, but what do you got? You got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Yeah, you got stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Yeah, stars and stripes and tariffs and lies. Well, hunger and violence won't stay silent. We'll get that man's face off the flag. It don't belong there.
Robroy, Mountjoy. Thank you very much. That was Stars and Stripes, Tariffs and Lies. You got some songs to record, man. You definitely do.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming on in. Absolutely love it. If you just kind of caught the end of this, do you know that it is going to be on our social media platforms for at least a month? YouTube, it's kind of on forever, but the rest of them, yeah, just about a little over a month, I should say. Now, right when he started singing about the algorithm, of course, the algorithm found that out. And
that's so hilarious to me. It's literally never happened before, which is super funny that it was on that song.
Yeah,
it literally was like, nope.
Yep. So Ruth, that was a good comment.
That was awesome.
If you're still watching.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can find more at robroymountjoy.com to find out more about him and his website. Definitely check him out every Monday night from 6 to 9 at Modern Brew here in Centennial. Yep. Man, Robroy, you've done it. Singer, songwriter, playwright, actor. I mean, you're like you're not even the trifecta. You're the Zublafecta. You've done it all.
I've managed to stay busy and healthy, and that's what more can you ask for?
That's
there
so
you
true.
go. Exactly.
Well, thank you again for coming in.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to hear
Thank
you rock out.
Thank you all for having me on.
And if you're an artist, you can definitely contact him. Phone number is Ben. That's on his website. That's still 917-587-0140.
Yep, 917-587-0140. Give me a call if you're interested and you have the passion to get out there and do it, because I'm going to get out there and we're going to do it. You know, I don't know who you are yet, but we're going to do it.
Sounds good. Heck yeah. And then also RobroyMountjoy.com. You can go. Definitely keep listening. So in about 20 minutes or so, we have 1 solid hour of only Colorado artists, which is every single day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. The rest of the time, of course, Colorado artists are 1/3 of our rotation. And then, of course, tonight, 9 p.m., we have another episode of Kind of Vague Radio, hosted by Andrew Talent and Rob Dixon. Real deep dive into Colorado artists. So thank you very much for tuning in. And Robroy, thanks again, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you both.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Everybody take care. Have a wonderful evening.